My next guest headlines UFC Fight Night 138 coming up here on October 27th against Anthony Lionheart Smith. It is Volkan Oezdemir joining me here on the program for the very first time. Volkan, how are you, man?
I'm feeling good. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And I understand you're in the process of moving right now. You got some stuff packed up in storage. How is it managing that and also training and everything else?
Everything is going smooth. It's not a problem because everything is taken care of. And we took everything step by step. So now my goal is just to focus on a fight, and the rest is dealt with.
That's great. I know it's been kind of a tough year for you, just with the fact you've had a couple fights canceled, and obviously you're coming off the loss to Cormier. How have you dealt with everything this year, just with all the madness of fights being rescheduled and canceled and everything else?
I want to fight. It's so bad. I can't wait to be back in the octagon. So there was a lot of delay, some issue and stuff like that. And my last fight was a loss. So I'm really eager to come back in the octagon. I lost against the champ. I learned a lot during that fight. A lot of experience, a lot of stuff that I've been putting in the gym every day, training really hard. And now it's time for me to put that in practice. So I can't wait to be in the cage again.
And what did you take away from that performance against Daniel Cormier? You always learn more from a loss than a win.
You think about everything that happened differently because it's a loss. A win, you always learn something. You always improve. All is getting better all the time, but a loss definitely puts things into perspective. And that's when you have to reassess, go back to the drawing board, and see everything and. Think about everything you can do better, and maybe think about a new way of improving things. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm feeling really great and really happy about all the experience I really got into me.
And you were telling me off air, this is going to be your first time going to Canada. Were you pretty excited when you found out not only you'd be headlining this card, but you'd be getting to fight in Canada?
Yeah, I actually wanted to go to Montreal for a long time. Really, TriStar was also one of the gym I wanted to be training at for many years, because obviously of Saint Pierre back in the day, and I actually never been there, and I heard a lot of stuff about the city. I'm gonna go to Montreal next week. Going to be training 2 weeks over there before going to Moncton, and then I'll be able, to visit Canada a little bit. So it's going to be pretty amazing.
That's good. Just stay away from the poutine because you got a weight cut coming up. That stuff's not good for cutting weight.
Perfect. I'm gonna keep for everything for after for sure. But definitely my weight is perfect right now. I'm on point. So definitely, if I can get some treats in, I'll try. I try some.
Let's talk about Anthony Lionheart Smith. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I think it's a perfect matchup. It's two great strikers with good powers. He's a tall guy from a Muay Thai background, but definitely I don't think he has anything to compare to me in the striking department. Plus, I have a really big powers, and I don't think he's going to be able to match that power coming from a weight class down. And I can't wait to making understand light heavyweight is a different weight class. Maybe it's not his weight class, and I can't wait to put him back in there.
And you come from a great camp in Florida at Hard Knocks. Who are some of your main training partners that have been helping you get ready for this fight?
I have a lot of people I'm training with every day, and a lot of people also come and go. But right now, the people that I've been training the most with is Ong Long San. Is the 1FC champion. He's the guy I guess every day with. The most. I have Marcel Fortunato, Steve Maury just came off a big win in Bellator. Different people. Matt Mitchell is back in town right now. I have people from back home, people that came from me to help me for my camp and stuff like that. So it's a pretty busy gym. It's I think right now one of the best gym in the world because there is a lot of people with a lot of bodies in the gym, and it's pretty busy.
And you mentioned the weight cut's going well. Do you have to cut a lot of weight to get to 205 pounds?
I had to back in the day, more than right now. Of course, as you know, I was supposed to fight before, so I kind of kept on training all the time. it was training camp on training camp, so definitely my weight stayed the same, pretty low, pretty regular. So my weight was always good, and now it's just getting strong and getting where it has to be.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
My coach, as usual. Definitely, I'm going to bring my coach. My manager also is going to be there, and the rest of the team.
Okay, that's awesome. And how do you see this fight playing out on October 27th?
This is going to be a great fight. It's going to be definitely explosive. It's going to be a treat for the fans in Moncton, because definitely it's going to be the opening of the new arena, and that's going to be great. Big matchup, and this is going to be firework. This is going to be two striker, and definitely it's going to be a bang.
Where do you feel like a win over Anthony Smith puts you in the division, especially headlining this card? I mean, this is a really big fight.
So right now, the number one is an active since forever, waiting on a fight, and I don't think that's the kind of stuff to be a win over Anthony Smith. I think definitely we're going to put me on the number one spot, which is going to be great, because a lot of things is going to happen soon. John Jones is back. The belt is going to be back in line soon. DC is saying he want to retire soon, but he has a big fight with Brock or whoever's. Nobody knows what's happening. But also, I don't want to be waiting. That's why I'm taking the fight with Anthony. This fight is great. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Anthony has a lot of hype behind him. He's coming off two great wins against two former champions. He won 5 of his last 6 fights. So he's a tough opponent. Definitely is a tough opponent, but yeah. Is nothing I'm worried about.
And you mentioned John Jones there. Just your reaction when you found out he'd be coming back and they've reduced his suspension with USADA.
I don't even know what to say. It's he's not even my. It's okay, suspension with the history that is behind. I don't even know. I think it's better for me to wait to know what happened, how he got his suspension reduced before talking. You know what I mean? I don't want to be talking first if he hasn't done anything like. But I don't really like the fact USADA is like letting people go right now. Think about that. Most champions sometimes fights one time a year anyway, or they want to take time off. They're gonna say something about injury or any good excuses. So if you're like having a problem with USADA, and at the end of the day your name is clear and it's been a year or whatever, and then you come back, he's like a slap in the wrist, definitely. I think whenever you have the money to afford time off or lawyers and stuff like that, then you don't really care. And I think then you're not gonna stop. You know what I mean? Cheating or doing anything else, anything bad. And I think that's the reason USADA is here, keeping everybody healthy, but keeping also everybody on the same ground, same level. Nobody can have an enhanced substance that make them better or like make them train harder or longer than anybody else, like whatever the human body is capable of. So USADA is good because I think they made everybody else frightened, but not the big names that have the money, I guess.
Yeah, very well said. Before I let you go, my last question here. We talked a little bit off air about how you don't play a lot of video games. What do you like doing on your downtime? I know you don't get a lot of it, but are you watching any Netflix or going to the beach? What would I find you doing when you're trying to take some time away from the cage?
So definitely Netflix is what I do whenever I have an hour off or something like this or whatever. But I'm a dog person. I like to go out with my dogs, walk around. I have a hunting breed, so I started going hunting with him also. Something I like to do on the weekends. It's perfect because I like the outdoors anyway. I like to be in the weird place and where you're not supposed to go because there is bushes everywhere or whatever. I like to be in the outside. I don't go to the beach because I'm not a beach guy, but definitely here is amazing. There is an amazing surrounding in Florida, in South Florida. So I'm kind of happy with the surrounding, but I'm a mountain guy, I guess. I'm from Switzerland, like I live in the pre-Alps, and I miss that. So I love to go hiking on the mountains and stuff like that. So it's something I like to do.
Well, Volkan, thank you so much for the time. It was great talking to you today. Everyone's got to check out this fight. It's UFC Fight Night 138 coming up here on October 27th. Just to remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Volkan_Oezdemir. Facebook, same, is going to be Volkan MMA. Always tons of content, trying to post at least 3 to 4 times a week, something like that. Fights is coming, so I'm getting busy. A lot of new stuff, a lot of news all the time coming. So it's the best moment for you guys to reach out. I want to thank my team behind me because they've been supporting me like nonstop and believing in me. So that's it, definitely. Thanks everybody, and thanks to you also.